What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord Dr. Professor Dark Joker here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are traditional fans with opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider, episode 20. So in this episode, Tojima, Ichio, and the cow are training. The cow has trouble keeping up due to he hadn't been training for like a decade, whatever like Kojima and Ichio have. And so basically during the meal there's a conversation about like they're eating the same thing. So the cow mentions, there's a wanting to get some meat, and Ichio says, well, there's an option. So he takes him to this old Shamo chicken that was bred for cockfighting. Basically, Ichio's grandmother was involved in the cockfighting industry. And so Ichiro tells the cow that if he could catch that chicken, then then basically they'll have like they'll eat the chicken. And Ichiro tells Tojima that he's never been able to catch that chicken. And so the cow tries, he fails. Realizing how his own shortcomings, he does a bunch of train. The cow does a bunch of train on his own. Then he spars with Tojima. And after sparring, he fights the chicken again. He knocks it down, but then the chicken gets back up, and it's almost like basically it's a tie where, but then some cat comes in and takes the chicken and eats it. Apparently, the cat's been around trying to get the chicken. So and then later, the cow tries to walk outside, do some, I guess, some more training, whatever, and Thunder Raiko's outside, and the cow gets into his transformation, into his shocker combatant form, and prepares to fight Thunder Raiko. And then while this is going on, Mitsuba and Yukarisu, they go inside the Combat Girls male only live event. So Yukarisu disguises herself as a man, but it's like basically she makes herself wears like a fat suit or something, which I mean she kind of would have to do something because she has big tits. So I mean she would have to wear a fat suit because I mean how would someone explain a man having tits the size of hers? Unless you have like a fat suit. I mean, that is literally the only way she could disguise herself as a man. Get it, and she also because that's how she sees every man except for Mitsuba, which that part was funny of it. So yeah, the combat girls, basically, so the event that you have these like it's like you have a team of gamers. The two teams of gamers are about to compete against each other. Yeah, so oh man, so it's actually kind of funny. So the so the comeback girls are doing their like crap. They're like so they're saying, hey, yeah, you're gonna give all this power, or whatever, and then there's some, and then yeah, it's so funny. And so the Batman appears, talks about like things, and it says join Shocker, and everyone's like, this might be a bad idea. So they all try to leave, but the doors are locked. And then like one idol in bikini kisses some random male like guest, and basically turns into Shocker. And then Batman said has all the other idols come with bikinis and said, hey, if you join Shocker, you'll get an idol girlfriend. And all the men are like, let's join Shocker. Then they all get turned into combatants. Then Mitsuba and Yukarisu are confirmed by two like the female combatants, so now they prepare to fight. So yeah, I thought this was a funny episode. The whole, oh man, the whole pitch is like you'll get an idol girlfriend if you join Shocker. And all of them are like, all right, we're joining Shocker. Then I'm like, Like, well, I mean, understandable, but I thought it was so funny. Like, I thought it was so freaking funny. Like, oh man. Like, I thought that was freaking hilarious. Like, I thought it was actually really funny. But yeah, I thought this was a really good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Digimon Beatbreak episode 20. So in this episode, so Tio is talked to by Arslan, who I guess is like the true like head behind tactics, and he's also one of the 5 stars. So one being the true sponsor of the Digimon auction. So there's a concern with gain evidence because going after a 5 star, it's ooh, yeah, that's something that's difficult to do without enough evidence. Because like how basically how are they like how much influence they have. So in this, so Tomura and Gekomon see a monkey Digimon called Gokumon, like Gokumon, and basically it's like it's the one that has like the e-pulse of Tomura's brother, so they they go after that. They confront that Digimon, but then they're captured by it and taken to like this portal, whatever. And a girl sees Tomura and the Gekomon to take in there, and basically, so Glowing Dawn learns that Tomura being captured. It's real that Tomura and Gekomon are forced to find like these gladiator matches, like these Digimon gladiator matches. So yeah, so basically in this so Kyo's asked to investigate Arslan, but Kyo keeps saying no. He doesn't want to risk people and like Arslan, but given what's how he's a little more open. So after winning, uh Tomura and Gekomon's next opponent is revealed to be yeah, Rido and odds are and like it's so Rido is Tomura's best is next opponent. So yeah, we're finally getting a confrontation as expected. I mean because they've been setting up a big confrontation between them for a while. Like that has been set up for a while that there's going to be a big fight between them. Now before the fight, um Tomura and Gecko see and Gekkomon see like the Tomura's first opponent, like he's been like cold hard whatever. Basically where he loses the E-pulse, he's like frozen or something. Basically the losing human that their E-pulse is forcibly taken away. And yeah. So yeah, there's a so and the like the whole like Coliseum where the glider match is at is in a it's in the mirror world. What's in a mirror world? So like yeah. And so then and yeah, so after this Rido's the next opponent and you see some of like his backstory. So he was basically a prodigy like everything, sports, school, and all that. The only thing he ever really had trouble with was controlling Digimon. Now he's basically, really good friends with his Digimon, Monodramon, and so during the fight, so knowing what happens, Tomura refuses to fight, and so Gekomon doesn't even evolve at all there in this fight. Whereas, yeah, so Gekomon then, and so basically they're trying to talk them down, and then so part of it, so Raido seems to be like kicked out of of tactics, whether it was fired or he's just being disciplined, whatever. So he's trying to prove to Naito that who's like his direct supervisor, or was his direct super, that that he's a genius at being at controlling Digimon, and Monodramon wants to help him do it, like desperately wants to. So he's okay with the Force evolution, Digivolve, if if he can help Raido, and yeah, so basically, he's just a prick who's perfect at everything. For once he struggles something, has something he like has a bunch of problems. So okay, so yeah, this was a good fight. So obviously, now at the end, it looks like that Tomer says, "Hey, I'm not gonna like, I don't want to fight," but he's trying to talk Ryder down if he's okay. Tomer explains what happens to the lizard. He's like, knowing that, are you still willing to fight? Ryder basically is willing to, and eventually Tomer's like, all right. Okay, then like he's Ray. And like so Kyo basically at the end he's like he's going out to deal with the whole Coliseum thing to get evidence against Arslan. So Kyo's now taking things seriously. Based on the previews, looks like they're saying a fight between Kyo and Naito. That should be awesome because Kyo's I think is a former 5 star, so yeah, he's probably very good at his job. So yeah, that's gonna be a interesting. And like everyone's fighting watching the gladiator match. So obviously Tomoro versus Raido, fight that's been teased for a while. So now this is a big confrontation. And we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'm interested in see how fight looks like. Awesome. Interesting Kyo fight. That should be awesome. And like yeah, and the thing is like Tomura was supposed to be here, but someone hacked Tactics' servers and basically got Tomro taken there. And so like ours one's like, all right, we gotta figure out what's going on, who hacked their server. And but he's also like, well, we can't really do crowds excited, we can't really just stop the fight. So yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. So I thought this was a very good episode, like how they set up the fight. Obviously, it's gonna be a 2-part storyline. Because a lot of these have been, one-off episodes. But it looks like we got a 2-part one. I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Blue Miburo Season 2, Episode 9. So in this episode, Serizawa sees Neo, Hajime, and Taro. He says some words to them. Basically it's almost like parting words. So he walks in for the little party where they're all drinking. And then yeah, he tells Taro to no longer feel like indebted to him. He tells Neo that ideals will only get him so far. Like basically like that if he base everything on his ideals, he doesn't say there's anything wrong with him having those ideals, but that it will get harder. And tells Hajime did not end up like him. And like so, everyone's partying and like so then you have where Hichika's group's talking about how they're preparing to kill Serizawa Hesuke's. During about he sees how Serizawa's interacting with everyone. And like Hisuke's like, man, with how he's interact, like he's like, man, it's a shame. And Hisuga tells him to like to not be involved in to be that he's off the team. Basically, Hichikawa says he doesn't want anyone to be involved in the assassination who will feel regrets about it because of like, well, they'll if there's any regrets that could cause problems from there. And he says that if they do it, like they do it, they'll be walking past the Ashura, and that if they fail, like they need to make sure where the Miburo are not involved. That's why they want Kondo involved, and like basically he doesn't want Kondo to get involved, like because of like basically like if they fail, like that could really cause problems for them. And that basically they get all scot free, way to where nothing can get traced back to them or the Aizu, but where basically enough plausible deniability to where like basically they're like he's Serizawa like basically Serizawa's dead and like the Miburo like things go off peacefully. So I need to like and basically yes, and if they get and if something happens where they're about to get caught, like they should just if they fail, they'll just kill themselves to where they keep everyone out of it and take responsibility. And yeah, so basically, yeah. And then so then while it's going, Neo is still concerned about everything's going because he knows that someone's trying to he suspects that Hizukata is trying to kill Serizawa. Like he suspects that like something's going on with Kondo. So Neo sees like some guys, some of the members in mask going. He recognizes them. He's shocked Kondo's not part of it. He knows that they're about to go kill Shirizawa. Now, when Serizawa's get to like the little like little, like boxes that exist they carry to get to the towards Bibu, like things go so Serizawa gets his own. So like things were not going exactly to plan. And so while this is going on, so Neo see recognizing that all of them are trying to like kill Serizawa. Neo is pissed, so he heads towards Kondo. He confronts Kondo during the part and like trying to ask him if he's really not involved with everything. Why is he not taking responsibility for it? And he mentions Okido, the girl that died, and he says Serizawa was not told him that he wasn't involved, but he says he didn't give any explanation. But Kondo says he doesn't believe Serizawa killed her either, but he kept something quiet, and that he believes carried Serizawa straight from the like path of humanity. And Neo says that Serizawa said when Neo talked to him that he had wanted to have a one last duel with Kondo, and Neo asked if Serizawa should be denied that with basically it was like the duel for between so and Heisuke's saying like a joke story or something, trying to distract everyone, and basically he provides cover for Neo and Kondo to go outside, I guess to go towards where Serizawa is at. Looks like basically, yeah. It's gonna be interesting how it goes. Like, how will the assassination go? Will Kondo and Serizawa just have a duel in order to like? Basically, it's almost like whoever wins wins. Whoever wins gets control of the Miburo. Whoever dies will dies. And it'll be which I guess that's kind of a peaceful way to do it. I guess like one fight as men. It's fair. Yeah. But yeah, it seems like what happened with Kondo was like when Okiku's death with Zerujo not going for about what he knows about it, like that he basically that was like the last straw. Now why Kondo why was waiting a month to do something, I don't know. There's still some questions about that. I mean, so that'd be interesting what happened there. So yeah, and then Taro, I guess, is what like was like trying to go towards Serizawa. Hajime tries to is confronting him. So it looks like that's gonna be a confrontation. You have Hajime versus Taro, then Serizawa versus like everyone. So it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, I thought it was a really good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Head account episode 7. So in this episode, so you have your Class B and Class A having their confrontation. So yeah, so basically, definitely, it's like so they're saying like there's a whole a fight between them that's gonna happen. So you know, basically, like you have to see who could go on the operation, and yeah. So and then like so basically, Class A is they don't like Class B because you're having a flame baiter, and then like I guess special on blue flames, and then you have all the stuff with basically they look down on Soji. They have they're heading towards where I guess the battleground will be for like the basically it's almost like I guess what My Hero Academia did with the Class A and Class B competition, except probably a little more heated, like a little more like not necessarily as friendly. It looks like. Whereas My Hero Academia is very much kind of just a friendly little rivalry. I mean, yeah, Phantom Thief was the only one that was kind of taking the whole rivalry aspect really seriously. But yeah, so and then yeah, everyone's keeping an eye on it, and then basically, yeah, and you have everyone's trying to, and then they go after Wagari, who's like the strongest member of Class A. Basically, the reason so Soji's classmates were keeping quiet during the whole standoff in the classroom was because they were waiting till the actual competition to basically say anything, because it's like basically it's like kind of like in sports, when you have someone says something, like someone says some trash talking, whatever, best way to deal with it is to beat them on the field. And yeah, so like this is a so yeah, Class A, they all seem like pricks. Like they all seem like pricks. I was like almost like I was like, why do they all seem like so freaking evil? But yeah, so I thought it was cool, like how well the fight was going. So it looks like yeah, and then yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes. And yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. Like it is so funny. So you have Hiyori, like so she hides like inside a box. So she tries to stay close so that she can use what spirit power. Her cyberkinesis doesn't require what spirit power if you're close to the doll. So she that's why she's hiding a box like you're selling almost like Solid Snake or whatever. And so Wagari when tries to find her, like ends up being another doll. Like it's so fun. Like I was like yeah, let's get to a plot where she I guess starts becoming you know like like that she like there almost like I'm bet if there I've only read one chapter of the manga, and then like yeah, so I don't know how well happens with Hiyori, but hopefully she can become more outgoing. I can see that being a plot point. But yeah, I thought it was a really good chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Coming to Brave, episode 7. So in this episode, so the intruders they try to attack Yashiro. But he helps Sarah escape after she like basically she's afraid and she like just freezes, like she can't do anything. And Levy is one of the intruders. You know, finds like tracks Yashiro. Jogomai reads Levy's mind and learns that she's able to track scents, so she could smell people in order to find them. And smell, a sort of smelly smell, a smelly smell that smells smelly. So Yashiro breaks Levy's nose, which knocks her out, so she can't smell, you know, anything with her nose broken. And so basically, Levy's ally, who had like a demonic arm, or whatever, you know, agrees that thinks that fighting would be a bad idea anymore. So he lets he you know he he lets a Yashiro, uh, Sarah, Jogomine, and Endo leave. So yeah. So later, Jogomine is talking with Yashiro, and she says that her father told her stories about Yashiro, and that she was surprised when she first met Yashiro, because I guess he was a little different than um you know that than like Jogomine had expected. And Yashiro asked who Jogomine's father was, and Jogomine's father was revealed to be Nine Fingers Kyoto, who was Yashiro's master. And then Jogomine says that Kyoto would brag about Yashiro and all this stuff, and Yashiro's he's confused about about that because his memories of Kyoto is that he was like a cowardly man, taught him that braves are all scum, and that he doesn't recall Kyoto being as happy about you know life, because basically the way like he would like be very brutal, like he would be very brutal in how he does his attacks because of how afraid he was, I guess, of how of things getting escalating, whatever. So, not happy about reliving some painful memories, he tells Jogomine to go home. Like, because, Kyo's dead. So, I guess it's still a sore spot for Yashiro. So he tells Jogomine to go home, and he goes to Ed's in order to get drunk. And, Sarah's there. Sarah explains that her danger sensing ability allows her to sense, a person's strength, and that's why, and the reason she froze is because she sensed Levy's strength and it just made her scared. And Yashiro tells Sarah that there's nothing wrong with being afraid as long as you know sh basically she works to get over her fear. And that's good advice. And then Joe arrives at the bar with news that Ishino was found dead holding a dragon shaped badge. Yasha remembers that Levy had the same type of badge. So yeah, that's interesting. So that's going to be interesting. Let's see how that goes. So yeah, Ishino's dead. So yeah, that's gonna cause some problems. Yeah, so it's definitely interesting. So I thought it was a you know interesting episode. Liked how they explained, okay, they revealed who Jogomine's father was. So because we knew that was interesting. It's gonna be a mystery. Like, and it looked like he had some based on how the dialogue was going. Okay, there's some connection with Yashiro. Okay, he's Yashiro's master, or was, because he passed away. So obviously, based on how he died, it looks like the manner in which he died, probably a tragic one. That might be why Yashiro told Jogomine to go home. Like there's something happened. So I'm interested what happened. That's probably something I'm sure they'll be revealed later. But yeah, I thought it was a really good episode. Looking forward to the next one.
Well, that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.